So in this video, we're going to look at how we're going to use Excel to run a regression to generate a regression outcome. So this data set we're using is under the Computer Skill 5, related Computer Skill 5. So there's the two tabs. So one tab is called regression, multiple regression model. Another tab is category variable. So we're going to using the first tab. So actually, this data set is coming from your the example on the slides. So this is Spark Club example. So basically, we're going to look at how we're going to generate this Excel output. So before we start to run the regression, I want to emphasize that when you run the regression model for the multiple regression model, and so the x variable has to connect to each other. So you can see x1 and x2, they actually located next to each other, and my y variable is in the column B. So to get the regression output, actually it's pretty easy. Actually, it's very similar as a simple linear regression model. The only difference is instead of just have one variable, one x variable, we now have two. So let's do it together. So first of all, click Data, and then choose Data Analysis. And then we're going to select Regression, and then click OK. So now your Y range, and basically is my B column. And then X range, that's where the difference coming from compared with the simple linear regression model. So in the simple linear regression model, for the X range, we only select one column. But for the multiple regression model, since we have more than one X variable, and you're going to select all the columns that are having your X variables. So in this case, C and D column are my X variables. So therefore, when I select the X range, I can include both C and D column. And then don't forget to check labels, because the first row when we select, there are labels. And then you can go ahead check the line fit plot, because that's always good to see your scatter plot to see if your x and y have the linear relationship. And then you can click OK. So now you can see this is our regression output. And so I always ask my students, since this class always requires 4 decimal place, it's never be a bad idea to set up the whole spreadsheet that only show you 4 decimal place. So click this this triangle, and then go inside the spreadsheet, right click the mouse, and format cell, and then you will choose number, and then increase the 2 decimal places to 4, and then click OK. So now you can see all the number you see on this spreadsheet are all 4 decimal places. And so the Excel only show you the rounded number, but if you click one of the observation like 3.3749 standard error, and you will notice that the value actually is pretty long. So he rounded the number for you, but you have to know the Excel actually keep all your original values. So this is how to use the Excel to generate the regression output for the multiple linear regression model. And so for the next video, we're going to look at is how we're going to use this regression output to do the point estimation and interval estimations.